Goedenavond allemaal, ik ben Maria, and I've got a treat for you, vinyl community. I'm going to be showing my Dutch records, and some music is about to kick in, some Dutch music. So, I'm doing this because Stefan 73 in the vinyl community is celebrating, 13 years in the vinyl community, 600 videos. He's trying to get up to 1,000 subs. And so he's having a contest. Show your Dutch records. So I thought I had till October 31st. It turns out I had till October 1st, the contest over, but I had already gone through my records and gotten my Dutch records out. Plus, I am a huge fan of the Netherlands. So let's get started. What we're listening to right now is Too Unlimited. This is a duo, Ray Slijngaard and Anita Dot. Ray is a rapper, Anita's the vocalist. And this is Too Unlimited. It's a double, what is it? A limited edition double album. We're listening to Get Ready. They have like 3 different mixes of this song. One of their big hits isn't on here. I don't know why, because this is from 91 to 96. And so the lyrics are in English, which a lot of bands will do lyrics in English for a wider audience. I do have some that have Dutch lyrics, which I'll show. But Anita and Ray, it was in English, and the producers and songwriters were Belgian. So it's a Belgian-Dutch collab. And it's a dance music label called Radical, and they do techno. So if you were in Europe in the early to mid 90s, you probably heard this playing. And let's see, yeah, so this was, and I'm just going to be needle dropping from that. So yeah, that's probably the most famous Dutch musical act in the US, I'm guessing, or that anyone, I don't know, America, like we're really, you know, America-centric. Oh, so I'm going to be showing books in between the records. Het Achterhuis. Het Achterhuis. This, in English, was known as Diary of a Young Girl. It was by Anne Frank. It was her diary, written in the original Dutch, and I've read it. Full disclosure, side by side with my English. See how Americans are? Side by side with my English translation of it. And I bought this at the Anne Frank house in Amsterdam, where I've been twice. And I visited the Anne Frank house both times, and I will visit it every time I'm in Amsterdam. The first time I was there was '93, and the war in Bosnia was going on, and at the end of the tour, we come out and there are handwritten notes from school kids in Bosnia about how they relate to Anne Frank. I mean, it's ethnic cleansing, so we have an idea of why. And people were sobbing. It was 1993, and we had just gone through Anne Frank's house, and this wasn't something in the past. This was going on at the present, and, you know, continues to go on. So people were sobbing. It's the first and only book I've ever read in Dutch. I'll read it again. Absolutely incredible book. So the next record, this is Frankfurter Spale, which is they're founded in 1906 with the aim to cultivate North German language and culture. So this is in Plattdeutsch, which is Low German, which refers to the elevation. So in Northwest Germany, near Belgium and the Netherlands, Low German in Northwest Germany is more similar to Dutch and Flemish than it is to Hochdeutsch. And this is supposed to be Plattdeutsch, but when I played it, it sounded more similar to Hochdeutsch. But anyway, so this is a 1980 West German pressing, and so it's folk music, and folk music, it's different from, you know, when we say folk music in English, we think singer-songwriter, we think protest songs. Folk music really means like traditional music, and I love the illustrations. But yeah, it did sound more like Hochdeutsch than Plattdeutsch. But still. Now the next, oh wait, so hold on, let me go off to Hendrik Kon. He's a photographer who, his muse is his daughter Paula, and he tries to emulate the old Dutch masters by doing photographs using everyday items. She's got a napkin on her head. And some of my favorites are, oops, this one she has doilies. This other one she has bubble wrap. And here's one with, oh, a plastic bag. So really interesting photography. The next one, Van Halen 1. So Alex and Eddie Van Halen were born in the Netherlands. They're Dutch. They were born in the Netherlands. They immigrated to Pasadena, California when they were kids. But there are videos on YouTube showing them being interviewed and speaking in Dutch. And so Van Halen is really, when you think California, when you think Van Halen, and they were immigrants, and of course in America we say Van Halen, but it's actually pronounced Van Halen. And really incredible guitarist and drummer Eddie and Alex. And yeah, I think, but most people think, oh, Pasadena, California. And but yeah, incredible Dutch musicians who you know, we lucked out and got them, and they made a hugely successful band. Oh, and this is just really, I'm not gonna, it's a book on Amsterdam. If you ever see it, try to grab it. Now this one I wasn't too into, the Netherlands chamber choir. I'm just showing it. It wasn't something great. I'm just showing it because it was Dutch. Because yeah, when I went through my collection, as far as like Dutch, you know, there's not an awful lot, and I'm a huge fan of the Netherlands. So, and I was surprised at how little I have, being this huge, you know, Netherlands fan. Netherlandia file. I don't know how to say it. But, I found this book. Of all places, I was vacationing in San Diego, California 2 summers ago, and I found this Dutch translation to a book that was originally written in English. It's Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance. But in Dutch, it's called Zen en de Kunst van het Motoronderhoud. Have not read it yet, but when I do, I'm going to read it side by side with Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance in the original English. Now, hard-pressed to find, what do I have on vinyl that's Dutch? Well, I had gotten this Glam Stains record. It's a compilation of, you know, rare 45s, Glam, Eurocentric. All these bands are from Europe. And there is Bonnie St. Clair, who is a Dutch glitter queen, got together with Unit Gloria and to make this song, That's My Music. So it's in English, but it is a Dutch glitter queen combining with a German singer band on vinyl. So, oh, and then I found this. I haven't read it yet. It's Jan Kramer Writes Again. This is, so Jan Kramer, his first, he has like a trilogy of autobiographies, and this is his second. The first was Ich, Jan Kramer, I, Jan Kramer, and the second part of an autobiographical trilogy of that extraordinary egoist and lover of life, Jan Kramer. In this volume, he continues his madcap adventures in various cities in Europe and North Africa, meets innumerable women. This is, there's a lot of drugs, there's a lot of sex, and Jan Kramer was also part of the Provos, which was an international youth movement of the 60s. So part 2 of his trilogy, this is the English translation, and I can't wait to read it. He sounds like a really interesting person. Oh, so the next one, this person is probably really, he's more famous in the Netherlands than in the US. Bine de Cro. And this is Het Beste van Bine. It's a double disc, greatest hits from Bine de Cro. Singer, songwriter, protest singer, but his most famous, Welterusten, Meneer de President, is not on here. And this is from 64 to 76, and he wrote it protesting the Vietnam War and addressed to Lyndon Johnson. It's not on here. I don't understand why, for the best, they don't include his most famous his most famous protest song. So his co-writer, Leonard Nye, wrote the liner notes, and they're in Dutch, and the lyrics are in Dutch. And I have so much respect for people who use their native language, even though they know it's marketing worldwide. It's probably not going to happen. I have so much respect. So Baldwin and his co-writer, Leonard Nye, so Leonard wrote the liner notes, and and then reading about Baldwin, he is an actor. He played Anne Frank's dad in a play about Anne Frank. He also played Anton Chekhov in a musical about Chekhov. Another thing, he's a translator. He translated 7 Stephen King novels into Dutch. Bine de Cro, really incredible. I listened to this multiple times while preparing for this video. Now, Bine de Cro, something interesting. It said he was born in a Japanese internment camp in Java. Now, Java was part of the Netherlands, that they had, you know, colonized Indonesia. I don't know why he was born in a Japanese internment camp. It didn't explain. I could have researched it further. But as far as, you know, the Netherlands and imperialism, all that, my dad got me this book, Max Havalar. I had asked for it for Christmas years ago. I thought I was going to get the English copy because I didn't think I could get the Dutch. This was a long time ago. My dad special ordered it, Max Havalar. It was written in 1860. It's an indictment of colonialism that ended up shaping and modifying Dutch colonial policy in the Dutch East Indies. I've got the Dutch copy, and by sheer luck, I came across the English translation. Is the pen name Multatuli, which means I have suffered a lot in Latin, and can't wait to read that. Now, while I was reading about Bine de Cro, they mentioned, well, and also Stefan73 had said in the video, if you don't have Dutch records, it could be other European records. Well, when I was reading about Bine de Cro, it mentioned that he was similar to Jacques Brel. So I pulled out my Jacques Brel, and Jacques Brel, his songs are in French. Like I said, mad props to people who use their native tongue. Well, French is more marketable, I guess, than Dutch. But so yeah, Jacques sung in French. But these singer-songwriter type thing, and Plastic Bertrand is Belgian, and he's not even Flemish, which is more similar to Dutch, the language. He's a Walloon, so he speaks French, but it's one of the Benelux countries, and I just want to show it because I love this album. It makes me want to dance. So I brought that out. Now, the last thing, so this doesn't have anything to do with Dutch or anything, but if you're in the Atlanta area and you have my cassette player broke about a month ago. It's just gone. It's a dual cassette deck, and I was using one of them, and that finally went. But I'm getting a lot of my new music on cassettes because I'm going to a lot of punk shows. So basically, if you live in the Atlanta area and you have a cassette deck, it's hot up here. So if you have a cassette deck that you want to give or sell me, if you're in the Atlanta area, let me know, because I'm getting a lot of new music on cassette, and I'm not, I can't listen to it. This is Gusher. who I saw Gusher and the VV Tour 2023. I saw them, I think, on September 17th at South Bend Commons. So I want to listen to it. In addition to them, on the same bill, Creative Control, who this was either their second or third, or the second or third show that I've seen, and they have come into their own. You got to see Creative Control if you're into punk bands in the Atlanta area. And on that same bill, I saw Whip House. It's Debbie from Webb and R.I.P. Webb, but Whip House, I love Whip House. Whip House is incredible. I miss Webb, but I'm very excited to see more of Whip House. And when they put out a cassette, I want to get it and I want to be able to listen to it. So if you have a cassette deck you can sell or give to me, let me know. And the other thing I mentioned, Dutch books. I want to mention there's some on Netflix. I was able to see a Dutch TV show. Oh, I forgot to information dump about the Netherlands. First country to legalize gay marriage in 2001. More bikes than people. They legalized euthanasia. They harness wind energy. They have trains that run from wind energy. And anyway, what was I going to say? So a TV show I was able to watch on Netflix, and it helped me with my Dutch because I would watch it with the Dutch subtitles. I would watch it with the English subtitles. It was called Keizersvrouwen. In the English title was Ladies of the Night, but in Dutch, Keizersvrouwen is Kaiser's women, Kaiser being the surname of the main character. And, when I was information dumping, like euthanasia, it's about like being in control of your own body. So sex work is, and when I'm watching this show, just contrasting it to the U.S., it's a great show about a woman who's leading a double life, and she's running. She's in charge of a lot of sex workers in Amsterdam. And what blew me away was if someone wasn't going to pay, they were threatened with, you will be blacklisted. We will call the cops on you. And that's what happens when you legally can take control of your own body through, at the worst, euthanasia, but with sex work. So watch Keizersvrouwen. And that's pretty much all. Last thing, I'm kissing up to the Netherlands because in addition to loving the country, someone marry me. Like, I'm single. Let's do a cultural exchange. You want to come live in America and I want to go live in the Netherlands? Marry me. It'll be just a formality, and you can dodge bullets in America, and I can go bike everywhere in the Netherlands. But so please marry me if you're Dutch, and we'll make an arrangement. Come live in America. They watch Stefan73. I'm about to go sub to him because he's trying to get to 1,000. Bye.